Alright folks, my name is Freyn and it is time once more for a bit of post-commentary. Now, as you can see, I am driving the Conqueror and it is on Normandy, so I'm in my 7.3 British lineup. It's a 7.7 battle and yeah, we're just going to go over the specifics of this particular game. I haven't done that much post-commentary lately. I'm trying to keep it more for the individual battles. I made a Conqueror video just a couple of days ago with a bit of live commentary, but this particular battle I thought stood out, and so I wanted to separate it and do some sort of more gameplay analysis on it instead. We'll talk a bit about the decisions I made, the results of those decisions, whether I think it was good, bad, why I'm doing what I'm doing, and also a little bit about why I think the Conqueror just isn't really that great, and obviously why you don't see a lot of them on the battlefield as a result. Now, anybody who has watched me play this map before will know I really love going over to that monument where that Vickers MBT is set, but in the Conqueror I'm just a tad too slow, so instead I'm going to tuck in here. I can see along that road nicely to anything that might be approaching from the other side, and I've got a nice field of fire across the beach. I can also, if needed, turn around and try and support the A-cap, so this is my fallback spot really. If I can't play the monument, this is where I sit. Now the first target has been spotted. We have an RU-251 on the beach, so quick pop out and shoot him. Potentially a game-ending move for me, as there was a mouse there and I didn't check my side before pushing out. Thankfully his reaction was a bit slow, so I've made it safely back into my little hidey hole. So my team is pushing quite well across the beach. There doesn't appear to be too much coming this way. We've got a large amount of players out near the C-cap that should stop anything flanking around there. But there's nothing really happening here. The Vickers is obviously taking shots at something, and I can't really help from my current position. So what I'm going to do is push down, out with these tanks down here. We'll go across the beach a bit, and we'll try and get a different angle. If I can, I want to cut into sort of the opposite street on the other side of A. That first street after passing the monument. It's a bit of a mirrored map really for the town, so I'm heading to the other side. T-54 is engaging something, quite probably the mouse. I'm a bit better equipped to deal with him, and we can both only pen the turret cheeks, but I've got slightly tougher armour. So we'll pop up and take the gunner first. Obviously you expect the mouse to back off now. There is a Tiger 2 coming, so I want a quick machine gun tag just in case that T-54 didn't see him, and then roll back down the slope just to give me a little more time to get that reload off. T-54's taken the Tiger 2 and I can pop back up, hopefully for another crack at the mouse, which I've kind of scuffed just on the rotating turret. Now the T-54 died right as I did that. They're capping A, and now the Vickers on the monument has just died, so I'm starting to feel a bit alone, a bit isolated, and I think it's about time I backed up here. There's obviously a Tiger 2 in that side street as he killed the T-54. There's still the mouse. I'd rather not have to take on multiple tanks in something with this long of a reload, so I'm just going to back up, back to my side where I can sort of safely peek without the potential of getting shot in the hull. I can hear something, I can hear an engine specifically, just above that wall. I don't know what it is, and I don't have great gun depression over the back, but I've turned my turret around just in case. Obviously still got to keep checking the other side, make sure nothing's following me. But it all seems clear, so I want to take the opportunity to turn and start climbing. That's when the RU appears, so take his driver, and didn't get a one shot unfortunately, and swapping to Hesh for the hull break. Again, roll down the slope to give me a bit more time for reload, get out of his gun depression while he can't move. But now I have a Tiger 2 to deal with. I should have started reloading APDS straight away, but I didn't, and now it's too late to swap. It'll further extend my reload, so I'm sticking with the Hesh. I can't get through his turret front. Should go through the frontal hull. Hesh has a higher pen at high angles, but I was worried about a potential ricochet, and also there was a bit of debate about whether to shoot the barrel instead. But I saw his lower plates, so I'll take his transmission. That means he can't chase me during my reload. And now he's been taken out by a charioteer. Some activity on the beach. My team has all died down at B, and they've capped it. So that's where I want to focus my attention now. Always keeping an eye on the top of the ramp if I can. Just make sure nothing gets too close. That's a Tiger P. There was a Corwellian down there as well. So I know 2 targets, both difficult to one-shot. Always backing off for the safety during the reload. Even if I can take a hit from them, it's not really worth taking the risk. There's no reason to give them that shot. We'll swap to Hesh, as the Corwellian is just a little more killable with it, especially in the side, or if I can get a hit in the turret ring area. But I've lost the target. Please excuse that little sound, obviously. Again, this is the stream that the video is taken from. Now I've still got Hesh loaded, and there is an M48 at the top of the ramp, so it's not ideal. I could spend 15 seconds reloading, trying to get APDS back, but it's not really a sensible idea, so I'll stick with the Hesh, make the best out of it, make sure I've got the APDS queued up for the next round, and start backing off to get into a hold down spot. There is a little bit of ammo juggling with the Conqueror. You don't have to. You can get by with completely firing APDS, in my opinion. I like to keep some Hesh around just in case, and every now and then I'll think, well, maybe this is a good situation. Rarely ever is. That was one of the few times it actually did really pay off, because that would not have done a lot of damage with APDS. That was a scuffed shot, and the Hesh actually did save me. So, bit of luck. There's always a bit of luck involved in the game. But he's dead. Got my APDS loaded again. We've taken A with rather overwhelming force, and there's that Tiger P from before. As well as a Panther 2. So pop the Tiger, back off again for the reload. Now, just out the corner of my eye, I have spotted a little black shape on the beach that shouldn't be there, so for a quick shot, just clip the mantlet, so no damage, and I'm trying to play it a bit conservatively. Stay here, I've got a good spot where I can be hull down. I can see if anything is approaching the A-cap along the seawall. I can see if anything's trying to move along the beach. And I'm not particularly vulnerable. Now, the Conqueror isn't an abysmal tank, of course. As I said before, it's got some pretty strong armor if you can hide that lower plate. But it's certainly not meta. It's got a long reload. It's not incredibly mobile. You really can't sort of push with it. It's not something you want to go charging into the enemy lines. So in some ways it actually fits my playstyle quite well, as you kind of have to hold back with it and just find a good location and stick to it. And that's how I like to play most of the tanks. Now of course you can really play any tank like that and they will still be reasonably successful. It's not something that's specific to the Conqueror, and having more mobility would allow you to get around and get to those locations faster, make more use of them, reposition if needed. But it's still something that works well for the Conqueror. Now that was the mouse trying to take a shot at me. Because of the smoke he caused, I couldn't really fire back before he's slipped away. And I completely failed my shot on the other passing target. But I'm in a decent hold down spot, so I just want to sit, reload, and try and cover this. There's the Quellion, there's the mouse, but the mouse is obscured behind that wreck for me. Pop the Quellion and then sit, just so that I have enough vision I can check for anything incoming. Although, that was a bit of a mistake. Instead of backing all the way off, I sat a little too still, and the mouse has gone through my cupola. Really hard to see a tank there. There's a lot of obstacles, so pretty surprised he managed to land the hit. But it was a good job on his part. And now I get to respawn in my opinion, the much superior Centurion 10. Nowhere near as good of an armour from the front, but a little more gun depression, much better mobility, and almost twice the reload speed. Shells aren't quite as powerful, but for the most part you're still aiming for the same spots. The only real difference is that the Conqueror can go through the Tiger II's upper plate. It shouldn't really, according to the stat card, but it can. Whereas, of course, the Centurion 10 can't. Once upon a time, when I first started playing, its Hesh actually could go through a Tiger II's upper plate, and the Conqueror's couldn't. But now, with the Hesh changes, the Centurion doesn't have any shell that can go through the Tiger II's upper plate. Although it's very rare I exercise that ability on the Conqueror, usually only at very long ranges when I'm sort of going a bit more centre mass to make sure I hit. It's almost always better going for the turret shot. Now there's a few poor judgment moments here. First, the Panther has just gone behind the church, so I assumed he was going that way and would not be a threat. Obviously I was wrong, as he has come after me. Second was, I could have waited an extra moment for the mouse to complete turning its turret. I thought I could get it through the side on that angle, but obviously I couldn't. Now it worked out, obviously. I was lucky enough to bounce the shot from the Panther, taking him out, and now I can go for this Panther 2. It's got no transmission, he's popped smoke so he can't see where I'm driving. And that's him down as well. Well, first, it feels like this smoke has helped me, as I've now managed to get a different position against the mouse without him knowing, even if I did scuff the shot that came from it. But the smoke also meant I didn't notice this Quellion. I think he was firing HE, if it was AP that would have hurt me a lot more. Take him down. The mouse is actively trying to keep his turret looking away from me. He knows I can't pen him if he's not facing forwards. And he's trying to push on to A. So while he's got his turret a bit away, we'll go for the barrel. Almost hitting the Tiger IIs in the process. The Tiger II didn't notice me. Go for the ammo, which ought to be a pretty reliable kill, but in this case didn't want to blow up. So sneak a shot into his turret cheek, take it out that way. And now we've got a crippled mouse who is backing off, not repairing. Tried to go for his turret cheek again as he turned past, but no luck. And now I figured let's get his track, make it so he can't escape. I could just run him down now, of course he has no barrel. Can't shoot me. But that's driving out a little too exposed my liking. I'd rather reduce the amount of directions I can get shot from. So instead, going along here, cutting into this street, and then I'll try and hit the mouse in the side. Solid plan. Maybe taking a bit longer than just running him down, but it's safer. And that's what I want right now. We aren't really doing very well for numbers. But he's not there. There is, however, a whirlwind which just killed my loader. Not entirely sure how, as the loader is on the complete other side of the tank, but yeah. That's kill number 10. And we've just got this mouse left around that we know about. There goes a Coelian. An ammo rack, so kill number 11. And my team is getting back onto the map. Taking B. We've got a few players pushing towards A. And, well, at the very least this mouse has backed all the way off, which with a mouse's speed, it's taken him quite a while, and then he's got to repair on top of that. Now in hindsight, had I run the mouse down, I probably would have been able to kill him before he got too far away and repaired. But I've also gained a few extra kills here from those AA, and they might have been able to get me in the side while I was dealing with the mouse. There might be something else around that corner. I mean, there was at least a Nashorn. He might have picked me off without me expecting him there. Either way, we've managed to win the game. I've picked up a few extra kills, and dead or alive, the mouse has not been able to affect that ending. Certainly not an ending I think I could have achieved with the Conqueror due to that longer reload. Certainly why I think the Centurion is the superior machine. But that pretty much wraps it up for this battle and this video. I'll try and do a few more post commentaries when I can. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you next time.